The key
And you're right. You
the
don't run back. You don't run from it, because then you're also creating another energy force, and that's going to be continuous. Things in your life going to keep going, and you're going to get scared and get scared and get scared. Then it's like you're running from it. So all your life you're going to be running from things that scares you.
yes. So we must not run from it. We must run towards it. Don't run from who we are.
Towards
Run
it,
towards who we
right?
are.
Lead it.
Don't run from our challenges. Run towards our challenges. You know, um, be okay with
Right.
not being okay. Embrace anxiety. Want anxiety. Be friends with nervousness. Be friends with fear. All of these things. And therefore we will basically conquer and master ourselves. And that's one thing that I promote and teach on is self mastery and mastering being comfortable with feeling uncomfortable.
Okay.
You know. So just huh?
I just said okay.
Yes, yes, yes. And before we had this call or got up on this call, I felt that we was gonna have an extremely deep spiritual conversation because rare souls attract other rare souls. So most people, where a majority of every person I speak to are basically on a certain frequency. So it's all about the wave. So I deal with an extremely high frequency. So it's only meant for us to receive divinely inspired, magical, spiritual messages. And and that's just what we deserve. That's what you deserve. And I'm just a messenger. My message, my purpose, my life is beyond me. Um, so um, so just to finish off, it says, in your quest to manifest your goals, you must establish a clear vision of what you will create and why before you act. It is not enough to be motivated by ego, money, status, or fame. You need to have a soul connection to your goals and intentions. You are a powerful creative being. This is your opportunity to bring your higher self in alignment with your day-to-day actions to create the future you want most. So in other words, you must make sure that you remind yourself of your purpose, your reason, and visualize your end goal. What is it that you want to manifest? Why do you want to manifest it? What difference do you want to make in your life and other people's lives? Don't do it for the money. Don't focus on the money. The money will make it about the money. It'll be a distraction. Make it about the passion. Make it about the love, because it's not about the destination. Once we get to the destination, it's like, okay, we here, and now we're focused on a whole nother destination. So it's really about the journey, the process in between leading up to the destination that makes it what it is. So in other words, you define a situation, the situation don't define you. So you define success. And success is not necessarily a whole lot of money or stuff like that, but it's the small things. It's the enjoyment. It's the happiness. It's the hard work. It's the overcoming adversity. It's the resilience. That's the true beauty. That's the true success. Is basically learning how to develop into the higher version of your true self and releasing the false perceptions of who you're truly not and stepping into who you truly are. And that's beautiful because that's self mastery. That's mastery of self. And self mastery is the key, and that's the key to our happiness. That's the key to our success. It's basically us achieving, because self mastery is basically being an expert in controlling your thoughts, emotions, and behavior patterns based upon having a high level of self understanding and self control. So that mastery of self is gonna allow us to basically um, have extreme self control and self understanding, to whereas life isn't happening to us, we're happening to life. And when life is not happening to us and we're happening to life, then
Mm.
we're changing things around us based upon our presence. And and it doesn't matter how confident somebody else is or how important they think that they are, because you focus on you, and self-focus is the best focus. So when you focus more on yourself and less on others, then you become powerful and they become powerless. So the key is within you mastering self-focus and you having a strong sense
Okay.
of self. I always say, you have a what's at the center of your attention? Is it your sense of self-worth, or is it your sense of someone else's self-worth? So you don't want to sense someone else's self-worth. You want to sense your own self-worth and live within your truth, because you have to know that you are the most important person to ever exist. You know, see, I encourage every person to know that you must think this way. This is how I think. I am the most important person to ever exist. All value comes from my thoughts. I give value to all things. Everything that I'm saying right now only matters only because your thoughts make it matter. It's not that it matters to me, but you define and you decide whether or not it matters to you. And that's the key. That's the power. That's the power. That's your power. And you have to know that it doesn't matter what other people think. Don't live through other people thinking about you. Live within your truth, live within your reality. And know that you are the master of your reality. You are the master of this present moment. See, so that's just something I'm gonna leave you with. So and also let me say this, um um it's only one you for a reason. So someone out here has a problem waiting on your solution. So you have to know that you bring you put the table together. You don't it's not about what you bring to the table. You put the table together. So it wouldn't be no table if it wasn't for you. So it doesn't matter what people bring to the table. They wouldn't be able to bring it to the table if you didn't create the table. So you bring the table to the table. And that's what you have to know. When you put on your shoes, you make the shoes the shoes. When you put on your shirt, you make the shirt the shirt. When you walk into the room, you make the room the room. So it's your presence and your essence that makes everything everything. So you make the moment the moment. And that's your power. Mm, And I'm gonna just let that sink in just for a second. I'm gonna just take a deep breath on that. Breathe in that divine spiritual essence. Feel your divine spiritual flow. Sense yourself out. Feel your divine existence. It's no one like you. It's only one you. That's your power. No one thinks like you. When you and I'm gonna just finish this card. The last paragraph. It says, when you are clear about what in your why, the magician calls on you to take inspired action. You will need to focus attention and intense concentration to bring your goals to fruition. Focus on the one thing that will move you towards your goal. Commitment to the task is essential, so drop your distractions that may draw your focus away from what you want to achieve. Be methodical, systematic in your planning to make sure that you stay on track and carry out your task. And it's basically saying everything that I said, And I basically didn't even read that part before I said everything that I said, but it's just how spirit works. And you must be extremely disciplined, extremely systematic in your approach. You must narrow your focus towards your goal at hand. And with organized knowledge, you're able to create a systematic plan of action towards your goal at hand. And that's what it's all about. You blocking out unimportant data, unimportant distractions, unimportant conversations, and staying focused on your vision and your goal. And get into your zone, get into the flow state. And when you're in that flow state, then your conscious thinking, which is the beta wave state, it becomes deactivated temporarily. And that's what a sense of self is generated. And that disappears, and you tap into the alpha or theta wave state, to whereas you become more courageous and you become in that flow state. And that's when the magical things take place, and you tap into the infinite supply of energy which exists within your subconscious. Your subconscious is your super spiritual conscious, and that's the part of you that never sleeps. All throughout your life, your subconscious, it never sleeps. All throughout your life, your subconscious is always active. So your body can get tired, but your spirit can override your body. So you have to know that you have an infinite supply of energy. That's how you receive the divinely inspired messages and intuition, the intuitive messages. So trust in yourself, and know that you are extremely powerful.